Hey, welcome back to the channel here. I got a new one for you guys. We're going to be creating a data partition on one of the servers. On Hyper-V. So let's get started. I'll put some instructions on the bottom of the video after the video. But let's go ahead and turn it off. So I'm gonna put a partition on DC2, and then we'll go from there. Let's go to the settings. And let's do SCSI Controller hard drive, and let's do new. So once you get here, so at this point, so you're gonna choose your partition, fixed size or dynamic expanding. If you don't know what the meaning of these three are, typically the dynamic expanding is from Hyper-V is it expands. It defaults at 127 gigs, and say you're using 5 gigs, and the more you use it, the more it increases. And once it hits the 127, then I think it warns you before then, and you can add more. Or one fixed size, you can just create one size. But I think this option would be good for what I need it for. I'm gonna name this data. And then I'm gonna browse to it. Okay. So, and by then you should know the difference of these two of the data. This is where my physical drive is. So this is what I want to choose. I want the data, the physical. I want the virtual, virtual drive is going to get it from the physical, so we have to select it. So once it's selected and pointing to it, you say next. 127, like I mentioned earlier, I have a lot of gigs still left over. So let's go ahead and say next. And once it creates this, we go in. We have to still log into the server. Then we apply. Once you have that extra drive on the settings, then you can go ahead and fire up your image. And sometimes it takes a little bit longer to create, depending on the size. If you do terabytes or gigabits at work, I've been doing terabytes, so it takes a little bit longer. So let's go ahead and start it up. So once you add that drive, you still have to start it up and look for it. You gotta sign it and format it, and if you've been in IT for a while, it kind of reminds you of like when you put in a USB drive and you got to go to the NTFS and format it. It's something similar. You'll see right now the settings, how it looks, but you got to know what to do and where to point. Other than that, it's not difficult, but you do have to be cautious, because if this is production, and you have to make sure you know what you're doing. There's a lot of videos out there, but I just like to go through to right down to the details. No reading on books to do a couple steps. Because there's companies where you're doing this daily. You're doing this. You're assigning drives. You're assigning. So this is a little waiting game, but I have enough memory. I'm adding. I can add more, but there it goes. We're back. I'm gonna increase it a little bit more, so you guys can see what I'm gonna be doing. Let's go into. The server is non-domain join. I haven't joined to the domain, but it still gets resources, because I'm on a work group network. Only half of my VMs are in a joint domain. So once we're in here, let's look for partition, or actually disk manager. Disk manager. There we go. Once you get into disk manager, So it's right here. You see how it shows right here, data. You have to wait a little bit. It refreshes because it's gonna pop. You're gonna get a little message. And I know the server's still booting up, but I'm kind of jumping the gun here. Okay. So data, and then you wanna give it a letter. Actually, it's this one. It was not data. It was this one right here. So this is the one that I'm allocating 127, the new one. So this process is still going through the workflow because I'm gonna rescan. You're gonna see let it find that new drive, because it's gonna pop up a message because we need to, so in the background of the server is creating that partition still, and this takes maybe a minute. Or and you'll see right now what I'm waiting for. So once you see the initial disk, once you see this right here, so we want to, this is the new technology, GPT. So this is what you always want to choose, so especially if you're running 500 gigs, or the more the better. So once we say okay, so now we got to go back in here and say new simple volume. Next, the full thing I added. Next, you're gonna reassign that letter, and right here is where you would data 1. This is where you would name your volume, your label. Finish. Close. Let's go verify it. And it's right here. Data 1. And so I'm going to start archiving stuff here. So this is it. This is it. Simple as it is. But of course, you have to have your physical drives, right? Other than that, you can't create it. I mean, if you have a computer running, of course, you can create a small version. All right. Hope this helps.